around.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of the Obscure Moms podcast. Um, Today's episode is going to be a very special one. We're going to have our very first guest. Did you
Yeah.
want to talk about her a little bit?
Yeah. So Sabrina, she's the owner of the Star and Stone in San Dimas. For those of you who don't for those of you who aren't familiar with what that is, it is a metaphysical witchy shop in San Dimas, California, as we are, well, I am in the Southern California area. So, we
So, what does
became
she
friends with
do?
her. Yeah, wow. You're like enough.
No, because you
Sabrina.
think what she did.
So Sabrina is a medium. She reads
Okay.
tarot. She's a witch. But she's a medium, and she's gonna be on here mainly talking about that today. So we're gonna pick her brain about how she connects, when she started seeing things, if she sees things.
Yes. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I
Really excited about this segment.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
How do you hear? Do you ever feel like you connect with like energies like that?
Oh yeah. I think when I was in was it high school? Um, I started getting sleep paralysis
Mm.
multiple times a night, right? And then like the most common what is, like, I don't know what the verbiage is. The most common thing that happens in sleep paralysis is that they see like a black shadowy figure, right? That,
Mm-hmm.
like, the Hat Man, is that what they say, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I saw him many times. So I was experiencing sleep paralysis like maybe 3-4 times a night, um, just like back to back, and so that was, I think, very eye opening. And then
Ooh.
I heard a voice. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I heard a voice clearly right here in my ear, and it said my name. Um, and obviously nobody was in the restroom with me. It was like 5 in the morning. Um, and it said my voice a couple times. And then my parents are very religious, right? They were Christians. So immediately they started praying, and I knew something was going on because then this spirit said my brother's name, and not just his name, his nickname that we call him. So when I
Mm.
told that to my dad, yeah, he like stepped away. I don't know if my brother still remembers this, but it's engraved in my memory. But
I don't
my dad
know.
stepped away to call him, and my brother like answered the phone, and he's like, right before you called me, I almost got in a car accident or something like that. Like, was working like early mornings delivering in his old job. Um, and my dad didn't tell me that not until afterwards, but um, I heard that, and I heard a voice and sleep paralysis, and I even heard a voice in your house. Remember I told you I had sleep paralysis, and I had heard that voice
Mm-hmm.
um, at your house, and it sounded like a teenager, like a boy, and he said, "I'm 16, let me in." I was like, "Oh hell
Oh,
no!"
hell to the
Yeah.
no. No.
And I was already experiencing sleep paralysis, and then he said that in my ear, and I just remember saying like stop or like go away, or I like what
Mm-hmm.
helps me is I say um I say the name of Jesus, so that helps me. And so like I think I had said the name of Jesus, or like I told it to stop or go away. I don't remember what exact words I said, but it went like right away, like I felt it like leave.
Mm.
So that's another. Also, I have very very vivid dreams. Like I remember like
Then you
so much
remember them.
detail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do.
like I remember them. Like I could I long and so detailed that I would be just writing and writing and writing and writing and writing for hours and talking for hours if I did a voice memo. Like they're just so vivid. Like I've been able to tell like the future, which is crazy to even say. People are gonna think I'm crazy, but um like yeah, I've had dreams about things and then they happen in real life. So that's my experience. I know you have. You're very connected.
Well, I mean, I think people will be connected whether I wouldn't say
Well,
whether they
you're more
want
in
to be or
tune.
not, but
You would say,
sometimes that can create a huge blockage because I feel like sometimes I can like be like, tell me something or give me a
mm,
sign or something, and it like almost clouds your judgment, like where
right,
you're like, I can't read tarot for myself. I can do it for other people, but I can't do it for myself because then I'm like, I'm giving myself a message that I want to hear. And I feel like
right.
the same would apply because it's just, you just get in your head too much. But definitely with like, um, I've had an experience at the Queen Mary. We were in that
Oh,
really haunted room, B340,
mm-hmm,
and I was with your brother. And something about that room, that closet is really weird.
mm.
Obviously the
Oh
whole
yes,
energy. So
yeah.
I really wanted to go
It's
in that
pretty.
room, and we got on the ship. I think it was our second time there. I'm not sure, maybe the first time, but we walked and we got to the room, and there was this mom and her son,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, "Oh, do you guys want to come in and see the room?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah." So she was
Yeah.
there, celebrating his like 10th birthday or something. He loved the Queen Mary. And so we went in there and just looked around for a few minutes. And I was standing near the closet while your brother was talking with the mom and the son.
Mm-hmm.
And I just heard in my ear, someone whispered, "Help me," in my ear.
Oh
It was a,
hell no.
it was, yeah, it was like, "Help me, help me."
Oh
And
no.
it was a woman. And I was like all the hair on my arms stood up. And I was like, yeah, I know. I just walked away. Like I started walking towards the other side. I didn't want to scare everybody, so I just told your brother after
Mm,
we had left. But that room is that whole ship is definitely haunted. Definitely more experiences there. But as far as other stuff, it's like hearing, not so much
mm-hmm.
seeing things, but
Yeah, me either.
it's more the auditory thing. But I've
Also, yeah,
always, yeah, clear
also
audience.
like yeah, also like I'm sure you've experienced this too. Like when I'm like drifting off to bed, I feel like I tune in because I'll hear
Yes,
voices, I hear phrases, I
that's
hear
exactly it.
different
Yeah.
accents. I
Mm-hmm.
hear like you know what I mean? Like I'm tuning in and then obviously I drift off to sleep. And sometimes
Yeah.
I try to stay there and if I pay too much attention, they go away.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But
And it's
that's when you're in that receiving uh
yeah,
mindset. So it's easy to get information or to hear things because
yeah,
you're in that state. And
hmm
but then you stay too long, you fall asleep.
yeah,
So yeah, it's very interesting. It's very cool.
hmm
I know I used to watch like Sylvia Brown on TV
yeah.
and watch
I was
her
a little
read
girl watching
people.
her. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. She always reminded me of my grandma, like the way she looked
oh
with her blonde hair and
yeah,
just like a,
the cigarette raspy voice,
yeah,
the raspy voice.
yeah. My grandma
Yeah.
smoked cigarettes too, so it was just
Mm,
like I always compared
yeah.
them together. But yeah, it's a weird thing that people are able to like actually see even, but connect
Yeah.
and like
See.
deliver messages to people that
Right.
are unable to really make that connection. Because
Right.
as a lot of mediums say, like everyone has a gift. Everyone's able to be a psychic or a medium, connect
Mm-hmm.
how some way or another, but not
Yeah.
everyone
You
can
just
tap
tune
in.
in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, but like I've done like like little meditations just with myself. I've never done gone anywhere like professional, and which I've always wanted to. Um, and I think the one thing, okay, I'm gonna say this, but mom, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. But like, there's times where I'm so sorry from the beginning, but um, but um, when I've smoked the Benjamin, the Swedes, um, sorry, mom, uh, or like done like little gummies, I feel like I need to be alone because I don't know. I feel like I need to be alone, and sometimes I freak out, and I don't know if it's because the energies I pick up or I see things differently when I'm. I don't know what verbiage I can use.
Are you high
Um,
right now?
no,
I'm just
can
saying
I be? I'm
no.
just kidding.
Not just
um,
don't do it on camera, please.
no,
Get us in
um,
trouble.
no. But when I'm in a different realm, um, I feel like I have to be by myself. I don't know if it's because I pick up different energies, but I've always been afraid to do other things
Hmm.
because I feel like that's just gonna open me up more.
Yeah.
And I've already seen a lot,
Yeah.
and that was just with the Benjamin. And
Right.
so I'm like, if I take something else, I'm gonna open up a different reality
Pandora's
for myself.
box. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pandora's box. So
Right.
I forgot how I started this conversation. But yeah.
Right.
Oh, that everyone's able to. Yes. I.
Yes. So
Oh,
there's.
yeah.
Go for
Go
it.
ahead.
I don't know.
I've always thought my dad is very intuitive,
Hmm.
but he just doesn't really like
Mm-hmm.
tune in or doesn't really, but there's instances like I remember there's this family story, this story that they've always told me growing up about my siblings wanting to go to Disneyland, like with some people with the church, right? And my parents were trying to get them to go, and then the day of, my dad was like, "No, they can't. They're not gonna go." I forget. He's just was like, "No, it doesn't feel right. They can't go." Anyways, the people that ended up going got in a really bad accident.
Oh.
So yeah, and so growing up listening to that
Yeah.
story, I'm like, oh my gosh, like whatever, right? But now that I'm an adult and I
Mm-hmm.
I am
You're
aware,
aware.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
aware, right? And I'm like, oh, that's. And then there's been other instances too, but um, I'm like, that's crazy. I think my dad has really, he's very intuitive. He just doesn't tune in.
Yeah.
What were you
My
gonna
mo-
say though?
well, piggybacking off of that,
Mhm.
I my dad. I'm gonna go back to that because after he recently passed, so some of you might know, he passed a couple days after Christmas, I think. But we didn't know how because the coroner had to do like a toxicology report just to rule out whatever it could have been
Mhm.
because there was no evidence like signs.
Yeah.
So I had a dream. um, I don't remember how long after, it might have been a few days, but he came to me and he told me that it was like a clogged artery or something to do with his
Oh
heart.
wow.
And so I text my mom and I told her, and she was like, "Oh, wow, that's interesting." She's like, "I think he's trying to like tell you it
Mhm.
wasn't anything crazy. Like I mean,
Or
obviously that's still
malicious.
crazy, but it was
Yeah.
more, natural causes." So,
Yeah.
I don't remember where I was going with this, but I did get a call actually the other day from the coroner, an update, and it was a
Mhm.
heart related issue.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
waiting for the report to be sent, but she said basically it was a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
So what? But so my point of that was that my mom told me, she's like, you've sent me messages of stuff that's you had dreams about, and they come true the next day or like sometime. So I don't always remember my dreams, but my
Yeah.
mom swears like my mom says she's intuitive also. She's like, but you're way more intuitive. Obviously, maybe you're just more tapped in. But she said, I think
Mhm.
my dad, she thinks her dad was very intuitive. he just
Hmm.
didn't like tap into it either. So that's kind of what where that story was going. But yeah,
Yeah.
so he came to me in the dream. He told me what happened, and it ended up being, along the lines he tried. Um,
Yeah.
but it's crazy how they can get their
Very
messages
interesting.
through. Yeah,
Yes. And if they want to be heard, they will be heard.
yeah, for sure. They
Yeah,
let
like you
themselves be known.
yeah, you can be thinking about something and then you can hear it from another person,
Mm-hmm.
or like
Yeah.
thinking about this sort of situation and then something from a third party you can, you
Yep.
hear from them, or a little sign here and there, like when you leave the house or whatever. Like,
Yeah. So there's
yeah,
different ways to receive messages, and I wanted to kind of touch on those. They're the
yeah,
five clairs. So there's clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. There's clairaudience, which is clear hearing. Clairsentience, which is sensing, and
feeling,
then yeah, and then
clear
there's
cognizance.
yeah, that's clear knowing, and there's one more, clear. I
Let
think it's
me
just
do the
those.
Googles.
There
No,
are
we're
there's honestly there's a lot. There's more, but those are like the
the
top
main
ones
ones.
that people are most familiar with.
Isn't it
So
the future one? Is that
it might be. I don't remember them all, but if I had to say I'm any, I would say
okay?
claircognizant is
I have it right here.
claircognizant and clairaudient. So I can
So
hear
clairvoyance,
and the knowing. Hmm?
yes. So clairvoyance, seeing what cannot be seen by human eye.
Hmm.
Clairaudience, hearing what cannot be heard by the human ear. Clairsentience, feeling the feelings of others as in empathy. Claircognizance, knowing without needing to use the physical mind.
Yeah.
Clairalience, which is smelling, which I've experienced that too.
Oh yeah.
Smelling what cannot be smelled by the human nose. I
Gustinance.
think, yeah, I think you and me have. I'll tell the story right now. And then clear gustinance, tasting what cannot be tasted by human tongue. That's I never heard that one before.
Yeah.
But just going back on the Claire aliens, the
Mm-hmm.
smelling one. You and me were together one time. We were leaving. I forget what we were doing, and we were out on the sidewalk going to your car, and all of a sudden I smelled perfume.
Hmm.
And I was like, and you didn't have perfume on, like it was like a flowery, like those spray perfumes you get like at Bed Bath and Beyond,
Bath and Body
Body Works or
Works.
whatever. Yeah, Bath and Body Works. And it was like very, and I was like, okay, and it like came and then it left, and then I think I smelled like cigarettes, and I think I had just told you I was like, oh, now I smell cigarette. Like I was freaking out, like someone was,
Yeah.
someone was there.
Yeah.
Like I think the
The
other day too,
cigarette
I
thing is
smelled
a very common thing, I think, with spirits, is cigarettes and perfume. I've
mm-hmm.
never experienced, I don't think, like the smelling. Maybe I just have a bad memory, but yeah,
Mm.
that's crazy. They're
The
just
other day
trying to.
too, I think I experienced it too, but I just like, okay, and then it just like I put it in the back of my mind. I didn't really put much thought into it.
You shut it down.
Yeah, I shut it down. But yes, I think I'm the same as you. I'm clear audience, clear cognizance,
Mm-hmm.
right? I guess obviously I'm clear aliens. I'm like,
Hmm.
but I haven't really seen anything, but mostly heard. And yeah, also dreams. I have lots of dreams, very vivid dreams. I don't know what
Yeah.
that one means.
I don't have a lot of dreams that I remember, but there are
No,
some that are like, obviously, some that are
memorable.
substantial, memorable.
Yeah,
Yeah. Always with the terrible. So we didn't
I
even do like, bruh.
I do remember. Huh?
Go ahead.
Oh, I do remember. I was little. When my grandma had just passed away, I had a dream that I was in her apartment and I was in the living room and I walked towards her room and I saw little post-it notes all over. I think this was like maybe like 2 weeks after she had passed, and there was post-it notes all over her door. The door was closed, and on the post-it notes it said like "I love you," "I miss you," and that's all I really remember. And I was little. Think I was like 9, 8 or 9 or something like
Mm.
that when she had passed. And I told my mom that story, and I think that was confirmation for her, like because obviously that's her mom that had just passed. And I was like, oh, I just had this dream, and I remember her crying. And so I've always had vivid dreams since I was a little girl. I still remember of some dreams that I had as a little girl. Um, and yeah, so I don't know. I've always been special. Just kidding.
I'm special.
I'm special.
Have you ever gotten a reading done? Like from a
Um,
medium or I mean tarot,
I
not a tarot reading, like a mediumship reading.
oh
Or
no.
has anyone ever come up to you and been like, "Oh, I'm picking up on this
Well, that
uh
once I was in
fucking Otis."
Huh. I was in Target, but I don't know if she was just messing with me, not messing with me, but like trying to get business because she gave me a business card and she's like, I sense that you're going through this and that. And I was like, I am. But it was just like a generic, like, love,
Right.
like something, whatever. And I was like, I am. Like, and I was like, okay. Then I was like, oh my gosh, she's like, maybe I should go to her. And then I was like, wait a second. I was like, she's probably does that to everyone. So, no.
Yeah, someone did that to me at Ontario Mills one time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She like stopped me and I don't know, telling me the same kind of shit and I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Do you want
Yeah.
a reading?" And I'm like, "No, I'm okay. Thanks."
Yeah. I think that happened to me there too. There
Yeah,
and
I think you told me that.
yeah, and at Target somewhere in Chino Hills, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, no, I haven't. I've always been curious. Um,
right.
I've always just been curious and a little scared, but mainly curious.
Of
So,
course.
yeah.
Yeah. Like who
Have
wants
you?
to come through?
Yeah.
Um, I have, I have, but it wasn't super detailed. I think it was about my grandpa, which
Excuse me.
is
Oh, uh-huh.
my dad's dad. But and
Mm-hmm.
he also died with from a heart attack. It
Oh,
was very
interesting.
sudden, so um I don't know. I don't even really remember what that one entailed. I think it was
Mm.
I don't even remember. But yeah, but that whole dynamic is crazy how someone can be here and then they're gone and then they're reaching out from the other side to try to
Yeah,
get your attention. So,
right. Yeah. I don't know what you guys believe out there, but me, maybe, someone passes, they see everything, they probably see everything that they, who they hurt, what they did and didn't do, and
hmm,
um, they just have a whole different perspective
yeah, it's all
of
I've
Earth,
always
of us.
yeah. They have there's a medium that I follow. Her name's Nicole. I don't know if you know who she is, but I think her name's Nicole. I'm pretty sure. She's like very big. She came from TikTok.
Cool.
She's very talented from what I've seen. I've watched videos of her.
Hmm.
But where was I going with that?
I don't know.
Okay, that's good.
Where are you going?
What were you talking about? I just totally spaced out right now.
Me too. What was I talking about?
Look.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, just give me. Okay, what was I talking about?
Oh, you
Oh,
said I don't know what
when
you
someone
guys
passes,
believe.
yes,
Right.
when they pass, they see a different perspective. Okay, go.
Yeah. So I think she had said something like they have bigger, they're on a positive vibration now and they don't care about the drama. They don't care about shit that, you know, might have been weird between you guys. They just want everything to be nice and pretty and perfect and re not rekindled, but like, they want to make up for
Make
whatever
amends.
happened, make amends, yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean, maybe it's true. Maybe they're on a different vibration now
right.
that they're past and they can see everything differently and it's they want to make sure that you're aware
Yeah,
where they're at and that they're okay or whatever the case is, whatever they're trying to communicate. I don't know.
right. Let us know down below what you guys think. Or
We didn't do a what the fuck happened this week.
oh, we should.
Yeah. So
So what
what the
happened?
fuck?
What the fuck? What the
What
fuck?
the fuck? The fuck? We need to make
Um,
an audio intro for that.
yeah. What the fuck?
What the
Um,
fuck?
do you have anything that stood out this week?
Um, I think. Well, I think I mentioned to you that I should probably start writing these things down because right now I can remember that a man stopped me
Yeah.
at the grocery store in the parking lot and was just like,
Oh, right.
"You're you're doing great, mom." And I was
You're
like,
doing amazing. Aw.
"Okay." No. It's today was a or today. This week was a good week. It went by fast, there it was a lot of positive stuff happening with the podcast and it's exciting
Mm-hmm.
and it's yeah, that was my week. I don't know. There was more, but maybe we should I don't know. I'm going to start a segment of how many times I can say I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. And then you guys, as the viewers, have to take a shot or a hit, whatever you
I'm going to
prefer.
start a count on the screen every
Oh my
time.
gosh. Yeah, a little on your box right here on the top.
Mhm. Yep.
What the fuck happened to me this week? Well, TMI, but whatever. I told you guys about my birthing story. I started my period this week, so
Oh,
um,
boo.
yeah, because last week I was like so emotional. I was like, it's gonna start, but I don't know when. And literally the next day after we filmed, I started, and I was like, fine. Like when it drops, it's like finally, like, because I don't now I know I'm crying. Um, but this week, even though that was going on for me, I feel like for some reason I had like energy. Still tired, but I just had like more energy.
Mm.
Um, I had my baby, so um, and it's really cold over here. It's been really cold in Las
Here
Vegas.
too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been really windy, so we haven't really been going out on walks as much this week. So we just hang out, and it's just me and him, and I put like sensory stuff for him on YouTube sometimes, or like I just put him on his walker or his jumper, or we play games, or we just sit in silence. I don't really want like him to be like too stimulated
Yeah.
with the TV, so we'll just sit in silence, and or we'll I'll play with him with his toys or whatever. So um, enjoying that with him, and I did see a friend this week. Hey girl, actually her name is Marissa.
With one
One
S or
one
two.
S, yes, one S.
Nice.
Um, and so I saw her this week, which is always nice. I love her. But nothing like really too like what the fuck. Except for my period. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
When do you want to bring on Sabrina?
We should. She's actually waiting for us right now. So
Awesome. Let's
let's
welcome
bring her
Sabrina
in.
from the Star
Mhm.
and Stone in San Dimas.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sabrina
Okay.
with the Star and Stone.
Hi,
Sabrina,
Sabrina.
nice to have
Welcome. Our
you.
first
Thank you for joining
guest.
us.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
so
you.
exciting. And what are we doing here with Sabrina today?
Yeah. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm the owner of the Star and Stone here in San Dimas. We're a metaphysical, spiritual, ritual supply shop. We
Mm.
offer tarot, astrology, mediumship, um, workshops. We have a grief group. So just kind of a healing vibe, I guess would be the best way
Yeah.
to describe it.
That's awesome.
How long have you been
Nice.
doing what you've been doing as far as like
Um,
mediumship and having your little
well,
Practicing.
I
business?
saw my first spirit when I was 5.
Oh.
Um, and
Was that their
I'm
little girl?
No,
That a
that was when
little.
I was 14. I first
Oh,
time I
okay.
saw spirit, I was actually 5,
Oh,
Oh
and
wow.
wow.
it was at the foot of my bed, and it scared the shit out of
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So when you connect or you see them, you see spirits, it's not just like there's different types of psychics or mediums, or
Right.
I think
Yeah.
they call them the clairs. So you are a clairvoyant, you see.
I see, I hear, I feel.
Okay.
Mm.
So it all just kind of depends. I have finally learned like um the different types of spirit that are around.
Hmm.
There you go.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm
All
the only one
right.
here. Sometimes, they like to make themselves known.
Wow.
Oh my
That
goodness.
was wow.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that actually happens a lot in the shop. It's
Oh
pretty
wow.
bizarre, but it does.
Right.
So
Okay. Well,
they're
they're just
obviously whoever this is doesn't like that I'm not.
acknowledging them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
And
Okay.
are you not because of the energy you're picking up or?
yeah. Sometimes I don't like to be bullied in my own space.
Oh, yeah, right.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of times where I'll just ignore it.
Yeah, that sounded a
Yeah.
little that
I'm
like they were
here.
reaching
Like
a little bit. Yeah, like pay
yeah.
attention to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, it happens here a lot. Sometimes customers are in here, sometimes they're not, and sometimes it's funny, and sometimes it pisses me off. But for
Yeah.
the
so
most part,
Oh my
I'm
god.
usually just like, well, you just took the spotlight away from you.
right.
Is how I look at that.
Right,
So
right. You
Yeah.
just messed up
Oh
your
my gosh.
opportunity to connect.
yeah,
So when you were 5, the at the foot of your bed is what you saw the first
yeah,
time. And
yeah.
how did it progress from there, or what's I guess what happened after that point?
A lot of it went into dream visits. I would wake up dreaming about
Okay.
people that I'd never met, but they
Hmm.
would be like family members that had passed away decades before I was even born. And my grandma would be like, "What?"
Interesting.
You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So just like little things like that. It was never like really like dramatic like you see in TV or anything. It would just be like I would tell my grandma, "Oh, I dreamt of this person," and she would kind of look at me like, "Okay," you know.
Yeah. So it
I
wasn't like
But
the
how'd you
ghost
know that?
whisperer.
Yeah, no, 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 and that's the hard
Oh
hard
gosh,
part is it's like
Jennifer, what's her name?
Yeah.
when
Love
you like
Hewitt.
with Jennifer
Love
Love
Hewitt.
Hewitt, like I wish it was
Yeah.
like that. That would make things so
Right.
much
Yeah.
more simple.
But she cried a
Yeah.
lot. She
Yeah,
always was
She
crying.
was very emotional. And I was so invested in that show.
yeah, and one of the producers is James Ron Prague, who's an amazing medium.
Oh, so he's
Oh,
actually a
okay.
medium. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
so
he's
cool.
Oh,
he's one of the
interesting.
producers. I actually took a course with him,
Okay.
and
Oh.
just learning to protect myself, learning to,
Right.
kind of decipher certain things. And so he's a very nice person, very very nice, and I
Oh.
loved the show, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not that glamorous.
Right. Right. Of course not.
So then what
So,
happened? Like
yeah.
the dreaming, and then what?
There would just be a
How did
lot
that
of
transition?
dreams. You kind of, I would be playing with people that weren't there.
Oh
There were
wow.
things, a lot of things like that. Like my mom chalked it up to imaginary friends, but
Of
I don't
course.
remember them being imaginary. It
Right.
was,
They
I
Right.
were
was
real
playing.
for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
crazy.
And when you started like responding back to them or having conversations with them, how what did that look like for you? Like was it was an obviously like an auditory thing where you heard them and they responded back to you, right? But
Yeah, a lot sometimes.
what kind
Wow.
of things were they like? What kind of things do they open up about to you?
Mostly like when I was little, it was just a lot of playing. Like I said, I
Mm.
have always drawn in children.
Okay.
Oh,
Always
so they're
have.
mainly children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've
Oh,
always
interesting.
when from little to now, it's always been kids, just random
Mm.
spirits that are childlike. Even if I played with a Ouija
Yeah,
board, it always seemed to be a little child.
Oh wow.
interesting.
So it's just kind of something. And then in 2011, when I lost my son died.
Oh,
And that really just like amplified and really made me understand a
Mm,
lot of what was happening.
right.
yeah.
And my son was 19 when he died. He wasn't like a child, but
Mm.
um I
Still a
think just
child.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's just a lot of it is was the build up to that.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry about that.
yeah. I'm
That's
so sorry.
um yeah. It's
So you would say like that enhanced your abilities
Oh yeah.
to see? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I started like going to grief groups
mhm.
Mm.
and connecting with other moms that had lost kids, and some of that was
Mm.
really overwhelming
Mm.
because
I can yeah. Like
I
reopening the wound.
yeah,
Right.
and it just I would actually see a lot of times what happened to their child,
Oh wow.
and that really wasn't
Oh,
something
really?
like I would know, if their child took their life, or I
Oh.
one of the main ones that really was disturbing was one of the moms I met, her son was murdered. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the happy face killer,
Mm-mm.
It
but
sounds
it's a
familiar.
it's a serial killer thing where there's been a lot of young men who have been murdered towards the East Coast. And when they've disappeared or when they found the body, there'll be a smiley face painted somewhere in the vicinity.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I knew her son was a victim of that.
Oh,
Wow.
And
That's what it's amazing. Like do you see it like in your mind's eye? Do you get
yeah,
like a flash that you're there?
okay.
yeah, it's
It's
almost like you're watching a movie.
okay.
Oh, wow.
And I knew what I saw was like black jackets, like because it was East Coast, it was like Boston area, so it was really cold. And I saw like heavy jackets, heavy winter coats. I had felt that he had been taken in one place, killed in another, and then dumped.
Oh, shoot.
Wow.
And months, after I didn't say anything. This was just stuff that I would get in, and but she finally talked to everybody about it, and that's what happened.
Wow.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's
Wow.
not always like what you see in the movies. It's not always Long Island Medium. There's a lot
Right.
of times where
Right.
And
you
Yeah, I
don't
was
want
and
gonna
to
how do you
bring up
feel afterwards?
drained,
mhm.
Drained.
emotional. I really had to learn how to protect myself because there would be times where I would be driving and we could drive by a car accident, not even a horrible one,
Oh,
just a small one. And I would take in all of
right.
that.
Yeah.
All of a
Wow.
sudden I would be cranky and crying and scared and just so I had to learn how to kind of process that and let it go and not let it
Yeah.
affect my whole day.
So in your family, is this a common gift that you guys carry? Is it are you the first one? And when did
No,
you really like know, okay, I have something special here. Like there's something different about me?
I think I'm really one of the first ones to actually embrace it
Okay.
and deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of alcoholism in my family,
Mm,
a lot of
Mm.
drugs, and really all it was spirit
okay.
and being intuitive and being, and they, because of the time, you didn't do that. And being so Catholic,
Yeah.
you
Mm.
didn't
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
And so, My mom very intuitive, but will not acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
it. No,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
that's like,
Yeah.
So how does
my
she feel
grandma
about
was.
are you open with your family about what you do
Oh no,
and
she hasn't talked
Oh
to me.
no.
We haven't talked to each other since 2017.
okay,
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
wow.
yeah. So
Is
it
that
was
fear,
very
or they think it's like
evil.
demonic,
Yeah,
evil? Yeah.
yeah. Evil, attention wanting. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Mm.
you name it. And that was a
Yeah.
lot of growing up having to deal with that and, feeling bad about myself. And then after my son died, I was like, oh no, oh hell no. Like, if he's on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going
Oh
full in.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking it all
Yeah.
in, and he's one of my biggest guides.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Mm-mm.
mean, that's got to be comforting in some
Yeah, it has to
degree.
be.
Yeah, yeah, it's like odd, but he'll do shit to make me laugh, or
Yeah.
he really loved weed, and I can be nowhere near someone smoking it and just all of a sudden be
Oh,
engulfed
really?
in
Oh
the
wow.
Oh,
smell, and I'll be
wow.
like, okay, I know you're here.
Yeah.
So weed is a big
Oh,
one
wow.
of the signs from him,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
and
Have
it's
you
very
ever, I know you said you, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just saying it's very comforting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. Have you ever, I know you said you've seen some people, like, have you seen your son? Has he
I
ever,
actually just that was my cat. I
oh,
actually just for the first time, about 3 weeks ago, saw him in the mirror behind me,
oh, really?
Oh.
and that was something that never happened. I mean, I saw him in dreams, but to actually be awake, and I
Right.
was putting my
Yeah.
makeup on, and it was like he was standing behind me, and it was shocking, but I was really excited, and I know it's
Yeah.
because he knows now that I'm able to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he knows before there's no way I could handle it,
Right.
but now
Hmm.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always joked about that. Like I feel, well, being in the same realm as you, Sabrina, I don't dabble as much in that. I've never been able to see, and I always have joked around like if I ever did, they probably know that I would freak the fuck out, and so. But I mean, I have more
Yeah.
of a different Claire's, like hearing. I'll be laying in bed sometimes, and I can hear phrases popping in my head, voices popping in my head, and
Yeah.
it's weird, but seeing has never been. It's either the auditory or the feeling.
Right.
So
Yeah.
um, it's everyone's got it differently, but seeing
Yeah.
is crazy. I've always wondered, like, what does that look like? Like, is it
Yeah.
look like they're as if they're right there, or
Most sometimes,
okay,
sometimes it does. Sometimes it's just like a shadow.
okay,
Mm.
Um, with for me with babies or anyone who actually wasn't born, it's lights, almost like
mm,
fairy lights. That's how I like to think of them. But I'll just see little glimmers,
Right.
right,
and that's when I
okay,
Interesting.
know. I have had though where I went to pick up my daughter from school, and it's to this day the story's still kind of like I'm like, whoa, even though everything I've seen. Um, I went to pick up my daughter from school, and I'm walking into the school, and there's the little preschoolers, that come trailing
mm,
through in front of me. And this little boy comes up to me, doesn't say anything, gives me a big old hug,
mm,
and then runs back in line. But nobody else is really noticing. Like the teacher doesn't say
Mm.
anything, nothing else. And then so I get my daughter, and I come back, and I'm looking in the preschool room to see who this little boy is, and he's not there.
Oh, wow.
wow,
And every day when I would see that preschool class, I would look for this little boy, and
not there,
not
And
there.
you actually felt him?
Yeah, like
Oh,
full
wow.
on came running up, gave me a hug on my legs, and then was gone.
Oh,
wow,
wow.
So it's just, you just never know. And I feel like almost all of
Yeah.
us, and I would probably say all of us, we all have encounters with spirit more
yeah,
than we ever know. We just
Yeah.
don't realize that's what it is.
right, and
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people don't know how to identify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
I
think
mean,
it's somebody that,
yeah, that's, yeah, now that you say that, that's crazy. Like,
Hmm.
imagine you're just walking down the street or whatever, and you don't think you see,
Yeah.
I don't want to say a ghost, but
Mm-hmm.
or spirit, and it's a.
Yeah.
Sorry, does that make sense? But I just.
Somebody says something to you, and you're out
Yeah,
in public and you're like, oh yeah, and you look back and they're gone, and you think,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
yeah,
well, where the hell they go? Well, a
yeah.
lot of times it's
That's
spirit.
interesting.
Do
Yeah.
you have you ever like walked up to someone at the store and been like, "I'm sorry to bother you, but there's this person coming through and they really want me to tell you like whatever they're trying to get through." No.
No, because for me, I really need to know that the person's prepared for it. I don't know where they
Yeah.
are mentally
Right.
or
Yeah.
emotionally,
Right. That's a
and
good point. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to ever. That's why I've had people actually come in here and go, I want a reading like Teresa Caputo.
Okay.
I want the Long
Oh my
Island medium.
goodness. Yeah.
And I've told them it's not real. I'm like, she is a real medium, but you're
Yeah.
also watching a drama.
Yeah.
And she doesn't just go up to people like that. There's a whole lot of shit you don't see.
Right.
Hmm.
And that's the hard part with those shows. It's just like that's what
Yeah.
people think it is, and it's like no, no.
Have you seen
Tyler
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 Henry? Henry?
yes.
He's a
Yeah.
celebrity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah. So he'll like
Yeah.
show himself scribbling and
Yeah.
channeling, and it's
So
so
he's
interesting.
so he's the real thing as well.
Yeah. I have always
Yeah.
felt he was genuine, and he
Yeah.
actually
Oh, interesting.
cares about who he's reading for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that I think is really important. It's even though he's blown up and he's done all that, I really have always gotten that vibe with him that he actually cares
Hmm.
and he wants to help people.
Yeah. What about do you remember Sylvia Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the laugh.
It's so funny. I just
Yeah.
saw. Sorry. Now that you bring her up, I saw a video clip of her on Instagram, and a viewer or someone in the audience, a lady, she had asked her a question. She's like, "I just have so much social anxiety," and she's like, "Well, that's because back when the witch trials, you named names and they said that you weren't
Oh.
gonna get hurt, and they ended up burning you at the stake or hanging you,
Oh wow.
and with these two other people that you named, right? And that's why you have social anxiety and have a hard time speaking in this lifetime." And she's like, "Oh," she's all crying. But no, sorry, I just thought of that.
Yeah, no, it is though. That's a lot of
Yeah,
our issues in this life come
yeah,
from past lives.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like I'm absolutely terrified of sharks for no reason at all.
Really?
Oh,
Like
is that why I'm scared of bees
probably, yeah. I mean,
Oh, you're
I
swarm.
and like
there are
tidal
not a
waves?
lot of things in this world that
Oh,
scare me, but I can
yeah.
literally be sitting in the middle of my shop and start thinking about a shark coming in the door and getting me, and I will panic.
Stop.
Yeah, like that bad. It's so stupid. I can lay in bed at night and imagine a
Sorry.
shark swimming around my bed. And I've told
Oh
people
my
like,
gosh.
you worry about your foot hanging out of the blanket because the demon's gonna get it. I think a shark's gonna bite my foot off, and it's ridiculous. But
It's
I'm
gonna
like, I
walk on
had
its
to have
back
been eaten
fin.
by a shark. I had to have in a past life. Like I
Oh
grew up in
my
the desert.
gosh.
That's so funny. That's so
Yeah, it's
funny.
bizarre. When people are like, "What
Oh my
scares you?" I'm
god.
like, "Sharks."
That's funny.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, yeah. But
it's
Sylvia
so
Brown,
ridiculous.
do you think she was genuine?
I do think she was. I think that she was just before her time. People
Oh,
were not as open minded back then.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
at all.
Right.
And she was wrong on certain
Mm-hmm.
things,
Yeah, she was.
but it wasn't. I think it was more of
I think it
she
was a
just
cloud for her. Like she
yeah,
got clouded her mind.
yeah, too much
So,
of this
yeah.
and not
Yeah.
as much focus.
Right. Yeah. What about
Mhm.
Lorraine Warren? Are you familiar with her and her
Yeah,
work?
I think that I don't think she was a fraud, but I think that she believed what she believed.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah.
think that she also was very dramatic and
Hmm.
knew how to bring in a crowd, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Right.
So I feel like she took a little bit of what she did know and just really amped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all that fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Can get to you too.
Oh yeah. And they want more. They want more out of you. More, more, more.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's hard.
So
Yeah.
what's like a memorable reading that if you're able to share, or a memorable experience that we
With
haven't heard
spirit.
already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think one of the ones that has really stuck out with me, and it's a very simple one, but it was just so emotional, was I was doing a phone reading for a woman in the East Coast, and here we are in the West Coast. And she had lost her little girl who was 2 when
Mm.
she died. And what happened was, what I saw was the little girl playing and fell down some
Mm.
stairs into like a basement, into almost like I forget what they call them, but it wasn't like a basement, but she fell down the stairs and she broke her neck.
Oh.
And her sister witnessed it. Her sister was probably 4.
Oh
And
wow.
the mom had always worried that the nanny did it.
Oh wow.
And
Mm.
in the reading, the little girl told me no. I went in through the door that I wasn't supposed to, and I fell. And the mom was kind of like, well, how do I know this? And how do I, how can I know that this is her? And I told her, I said, I don't know why. I said, but she keeps showing me some shoes. She keeps showing me like the little girl, Mary Jane little shiny shoes.
Sorry.
You're okay. And I told her, I said, that for me, I don't know if those make sense. I said, but this is what she's showing me. And her mom was actually holding her shoes during the reading.
Oh shoot.
And this was
Oh
phone.
wow.
And
Right.
so I told
Yeah.
her mom, I said, that this is her letting you know that it really was an accident.
Oh.
Like, because she lived with, for 26 years, she lived with this.
Wow.
And, because this happened in the 60s when her little girl died, they didn't really investigate, and so she had all these things
Yeah.
swimming. And a lot of it was guilt for leaving her daughters that day, and
Mm.
and going to do what she had to do. And so we were able to release that day and let her understand that no, it was
Yeah.
an accident.
Oh
And
man.
so that was one that I always
Mm.
loved, because when I told her that, I was like, she keeps showing me shoes. She loved these little
Yeah.
shoes, which is normal.
Right.
Little
Yeah.
girls wear those shoes, but she's like, I'm holding them. These are the shoes she
Oh
got.
man.
Wow.
And so that was enough confirmation for her.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one that,
Man.
that and the
Yeah.
one
We'll
I
never
talked
leave
about
you.
earlier with the murder. That was hard.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
That was
Oh
hard.
man.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
So
So,
go ahead.
no, you go for it.
I wanted to bring up the this topic we were talking about earlier before we started recording. Um, I mean, you can go ahead and talk about it, and because you
Just
mentioned
like
to
I
me
said
that
earlier, when I get little
yeah.
fairies, as I call them, around me, and I feel that emotion on my heart, that pull, I've always, for me, that's identifying that it's been a loss, a miscarriage, not full term, and so I kept getting this nudge all
Mm,
afternoon to bring that up. And so that's
interesting.
why I asked before we went on if either of you had lost a baby, because
Yeah.
that's who's coming through.
Mm.
Yeah. And that was me. I think it was end of 2023, I think.
Yeah, recent.
So I think I don't remember how far. I think I was like 12 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
much,
Yeah, no.
but this little being had a purpose for you. And the being, I feel
Oh,
um,
Oh, wow. That's weird.
that is
she
weird.
didn't, she never was meant to go full term.
Mm,
She was meant to open your heart up to love and to open you up to believing um, in yourself almost. Like I feel like she was like this little, and what I get is kick, but like this little kick for you to take care of yourself more and to love yourself more and to know that you are this incredible being that can bring life into this world. Because I don't know if at the time, I don't know what was happening. I don't know if you felt down on yourself. I don't know if you felt you blamed yourself for anything that went on, but that's what she was there for. She was like a light of love and confidence for yourself.
Yeah.
Remember that
Wow.
dream I told you? The girl? You had a
That
girl?
had like dark hair.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And it's funny because I
That's
don't
so
see
weird.
her. I see the lights, but what
Right.
I see is behind you, and I see this, like so happy
Oh, like I'm gonna cry.
Uh-huh.
that you're finally getting the confirmation that you needed of her. And she's always with you,
Oh.
always with you. But she was never meant to be born, to come to full term. So nothing caused it, nothing. She just, that her purpose was to open your heart up to love. That was her
That's sweet.
purpose. So she's always with you.
That's sweet.
And I feel it's the left. So if you ever hear buzzing, ringing,
I
anything on
always
your
do.
left, that's her.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
so cute.
And your baby now will know of her. Yeah. From what I've learned is when we have loss like that. So when you had your baby, how old is your son, right?
Yeah, he's 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
When his soul was brought down, she was the one that brought him down. So you can remember that. He knows of her. Yeah. So that's always like it was emotional and it was a lot of pulling, but it's a very happiness. And
Yeah.
I literally just keep seeing.
That's so cute.
Do you see her?
Little bestie.
I just see
You
light.
just like
Yeah. Yeah. Just light. But when I see the hands, it's like a cartoon is what I get in my head of like
yeah.
a little angel, like, yay.
I'm almost envisioning it too with you
Yeah.
explaining it like that.
Yeah.
Oh man. I knew it was
Yeah.
gonna be a girl too. It
Yeah.
I had that feeling when I got pregnant with my son. I just knew it was a boy. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's a girl, it's a girl." I'm like, "No, it's a boy. It's a boy."
Right.
And I had my boy, but when um I didn't when before I had the miscarriage, I just when I had that the thought of that I was pregnant, I was like, I think it's a girl. I just had that feeling.
You
And
just
I think
knew.
at the time, yeah, I think at that time too, I was having a lot of dreams. I have very vivid dreams, um, and so I'm pretty sure I dreamt her too. But I at this time I can't really remember. But
Right. I guarantee that you did, and you probably will even more so now.
yeah,
Is that common?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once you're able to kind of get that confirmation and that feeling, like it's what you have to feel is what makes you go, whoa, okay, there it is.
Right.
It's almost like you wake up.
Otis, what the fuck? Weirdo. Sorry. The cat just jumped up in here and trying to get all up in the mix for no reason.
Spirit.
Right. No, Otis. We're having an
my
important
goodness.
conversation.
Yeah. So she's with you.
Wow.
And it's really funny. I don't know that if you gave her a name, I don't know if there's a name that like vibrates with you, but I keep seeing the never ending story. Do you guys
Okay.
know that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, where he is yelling that he has to give the, what is she, the princess, the queen?
The Ice Princess, or what's
Yeah,
her
he
name?
has to give her a name. And not that you have to give her a name. I just, that's what she's showing me. Like, it's
Um,
that kind of, like, it's okay to think of me because she was there.
yeah.
Like, it's not like you have to disregard her because she never was term. She was real.
Right.
And so I guess
Okay.
she wants you to allow yourself to acknowledge her. That's the best way to put it.
That makes sense.
I do think about that sometimes, and now that you bring it up, I kind of just put it in the back of my mind and just live my life.
Yeah,
But
it's okay to
I
think
do
about
think
her.
about it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay because she's there. She's right there with you.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, she was doing this to me all day.
Man.
Nudge, nudge, nudge.
Like, please tell her. Please.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So I was glad.
That's
That's why I
Thank
asked
you.
ahead of time because
Yeah. I know you said it, and I was looking at Karissa to see if she was gonna say anything, and she's like, "Not me," and I was like, "Okay, okay, it's me." And I had told you because right before we got on, I told Sabrina that I was like, I was talking to Spirit, and I was like, "Okay, give me a confirmation, like let me know it's you, like something like very specific to me, like if it, whatever." So that was it.
right, you got it.
Oh man,
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad something, something was able to nudge its way through.
yeah.
That's awesome. Just kind of show people like the process of how you channel and whatnot. So,
Yeah,
wow, that's
awesome.
crazy.
This was fun.
Yeah, of course.
We would love to have you back on.
Hell yeah,
Yeah. I do have a few more questions though.
yeah, absolutely.
So, what would you say it makes for a good medium? If someone's trying to open up that ability, is it possible? Is it something that only, you can pick up as a child? What would
No,
your advice be?
we all have that. We all have the ability to open up to spirit. The first number one thing is believing.
Mm,
Yeah.
If you don't believe what's happening, if you don't believe, if you disregard it, it's just going to kind of shut down and stay quiet.
mm-hmm.
Um, I think a good practice is to talk to spirit and kind of, like learn the signs. Like for me, it's like the ringing, it's the little sparkles, it's the heavy heart. I know what different spirit is. Um, don't be afraid to set your boundaries. You have to have boundaries of spirit just like you would humans.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's like the movie Ghost.
Otherwise, they're knocking shit over like they
Yeah,
just did.
yeah, yeah. So you really want to have that, but just the most important thing is acknowledging and believing and
Okay.
just writing it down like you would anything else. Just write it down, practice it. Um, you can start off with little things like every morning going, okay, spirit, today I want you, and be specific with them. Like if you have a loved one on the other side and you're like, send me a sign, sending you a sign, they're going to be there going, well, what do you want?
Yeah.
Because you have to tell me what you want
Right.
in order for me to do it.
Yeah.
And so don't try to make it so mystical
Yeah.
because
Like, oh, make some purple clouds so I know you're
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. It's got to be something that they can actually do. And a really good example of that is just a month ago, we had a sound bath here in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been thinking about my son, Mick, just a lot that day. It was just kind of one of those heavy days. And so we were having the sound bath. And during the sound bath, I kept talking to him and I kept saying, Mick, send me a butterfly. I was like, send me a butterfly. I just need a butterfly today. And me, I'm staring out the window, waiting for like this butterfly to come flooding by the
Right.
window, or, and the sound bath ended. Nothing happened. We're
Mm-hmm.
cleaning up. I walk up to the gal who was doing the sound bath, and she had these oracle cards there. And she was like, pick one. Just pick one, whatever one you want. Pick one up. And the card, no joke, was Mother Earth.
Hmm.
Mm.
And she had butterflies all around her.
Oh.
Oh.
And I looked at my son's picture and I was like, you are such a fucking show off. Like, I'm thinking
Like
this
you
little
wanted
butterfly.
one? Right.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, mom, hold
Yeah.
on. He's all, give me a
Yeah.
second. So you just have to believe like that and just really be
Mm-hmm.
specific as what you want to hear from spirit,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you want, what you need from them for confirmation.
Right.
And then when it comes, don't deny it.
Right.
Mm.
And the more you do it, the stronger you're going to get and the more aware you're going to become.
Yeah.
So how do you stay like connected? Like what do you do to like enhance your abilities or like to stay tuned? Like what do you do? Or
I
do you do
just
anything?
I do have in my mind, like when I go out in public, it can be hard. It can
Yeah.
be very draining. So if I'm going to go out somewhere, I will literally picture in my mind a door shutting and locking.
Mm.
Mm.
And I tell myself, okay, spirit, it's only for the living.
Uh,
Like I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
not
And
today.
yeah, and there'll be days where it works just fine and it's no big deal, and then there'll be days where I'm like a robot. And I just, instead of shutting out spirit, I've just shut it all out. And I'll just be
Yeah.
kind of like, wow, what was today? Like I won't even remember what was going on.
Right.
Hmm.
And so, but that's usually it. And as generic as it sounds, water. Water is
Yeah.
so like the most
Cleansing.
powerful thing that we have.
Hmm.
And I have to, if I start to feel myself dehydrated, I know that it's been too much spirit, too much
Mm.
activity going on,
Yeah.
and I have to just start slamming that water. So it's, you just kind of learn what works for you. Everybody's different. Everybody's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Some people are on all the time. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't deal with spirit 24/7. It's too much.
Okay, so uh, as you might know, I think I did tell you I'm gonna bring up my dad again because okay, for those of you who aren't familiar, we didn't have a very good relationship. Um, I hadn't talked to him in months before he passed away. And it's all very fresh, but he's been
Mm-hmm.
very present with everything in any way he can. And I think he was pretty spiritual, but I'm not sure. I don't know if spiritual is the right word, but I see his birthday on the clock every day. Some days twice a day, and my grandma, but also crows. I feel like because I here when he was alive, he randomly like took care of a crow that was hurt. Um,
You mean like that?
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah, but it's almost to that stalker energy where it's
Yeah.
like you were never this present before, and now you're literally
Mhm.
here all the time, and it's
Yeah.
unavoidable. Like
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here," and it makes me laugh, but
Yeah.
it's still like, well, it's weird. It's a new phase of my life, and it's just, but it's funny that I didn't even see that until you pointed it out. But
Well, it's
uh,
his spirit, him being on the other side, he sees everything now.
right,
And he sees mistakes
mm-hmm,
and missed opportunities. And,
Yeah.
he sees all that. So he's trying to make up for it.
mm-hmm,
And he's kind of trying to let you know, like, I'm sorry for when I was here, but I'm all here now.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. I see that.
And
It's
it,
like,
like when you said the crow, it made me laugh because I had set this up in the other room before
mm,
we were going to do this. And I was like, nothing worked. Like it just wasn't working in there. So I came and I
Mhm.
brought it in here and I was like, oh, cool. We'll have the crow in the back. So that was a little signal for you. That was a little sign
Yeah.
for you.
weirdo.
Yeah.
I think
But
it's
that's
kind of
what they do.
cute, but
Yeah,
That's
no,
what they do.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm amused by it, and if it was anybody else, like,
Yeah.
it's easier for me. Like I was telling Josie, like I've never felt or seen so many signs from a spirit before. If I do, it's like it's usually auditory. So when I'm laying in bed, I can hear like those
Mhm.
phrases I was telling you, um, or the feeling. But it's never been like this, where it's like constant. Like, hey, look at the time. Uh, there was some. Oh, so he really enjoyed car chases, and Jose the other day put a car chase channel on Pluto, and they were driving down Figueroa Street, and that's my last name. It was just like, okay, it's enough. Like,
Yeah.
I know you're there. Like,
Yeah.
I get
You're like, now
it.
you're showing off.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
you're
Yeah.
showing off.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And the more you acknowledge him and the more you acknowledge what he's sending you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the more he's going to kind of chill out
Right.
and just kind of be there for you.
Right.
But it's
Mhm.
like right now he's in that panic healing mode of
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make things better and I'm just trying to let you know that I'm here and I want to be here and I know
Yeah.
where I've made mistakes. And so he's like in that healing spiritual phase.
Right. It's so weird to me. It's like, what, besides being my parent in this life, how were we connected before? And my brain will go far back. Like, why is it still important to you that
Right.
you apologize or whatever it is? It's just like so many questions.
Yeah. Because
My
now
brain.
he sees it all. He
Right.
sees it all. He knows what you went through, what you felt, what
Mm-hmm.
hurt you, what he like it's like a huge motion picture for him now.
Yeah.
And he wants to make amends.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just touching on that because you were talking about, that's too much for one day. It's like it happens. They're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hey, you know how to talk to these people and get my message out. Please take my message and give it to them.
Right. And you literally like I was snowed in Arizona last week for four
Right.
days. And in the hotels sometimes can be the worst.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You
And
did tell me you were picking up on someone over there
oh
too.
God, I had this chick that just would not leave me alone. And I was like, knock it off. I was like, leave me alone. I need to sleep. Like I was
Yeah.
pissed. And she stopped. She did. She chilled out. But I was just like, dude, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like let me have
Yeah.
some sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's intense and but you don't have to be afraid
Right.
to set that boundary like you would with a living person.
Yeah. That's what you're letting people know. It's important to have your boundaries up and you can just
Gotta
speak
have
them out. Tell them that's enough for today. I'm turning
yeah,
it off.
that's it. I'm turning it
Yeah.
off. Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Good night.
Was that your mic drop?
Yeah.
Are you done with
Exactly.
us? Oh, well.
Mediumship or what you do can actually help someone who's grieving, right? Or
Mm,
someone that hasn't grieved,
Right.
is that the right term? Hasn't
Yeah.
grieved the
Yeah.
past trauma, right? Because I just put
Mhm.
it behind me, and someone that's still, learning her, how to grieve for her situation. Like I think mediumship is like an awesome tool, like to find closure. Like
Yeah.
even that little tiny crow is like
yeah.
Yeah.
confirmation for you, and I
Yeah.
think, yeah,
And
just
that's why you have to really choose carefully who you're going to get a reading from.
yeah.
Right.
You want to one make sure that you're drawn to them. Like if you go meet somebody and they're supposed to be the most amazing medium, but you don't like their perfume,
Mm,
you don't like
Mm,
their lipstick, like anything, as
mm-hmm.
weird as that sounds, you don't want to go with it.
Yeah.
When I do readings, I don't ask for any information.
right.
I don't need nothing. I just
Yeah.
like to sit down or on the phone. Um, sometimes it's nice to have a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when they actually come, if they have a picture, I'll look at it and then I know who I'm speaking to in the room.
Mm,
So it kind of saves time.
yeah.
And so that to me, that's the main thing is always go with your instinct, go with your gut feeling with someone.
Mm-hmm.
There's been people that I don't read for because I am not comfortable with them.
Right. Your
Mhm.
energy's
And
not vibing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I won't just read for anybody.
Right.
I've had people come in, not here, but before, wanting readings, and it's like, no, no,
No.
there's too much of a darkness in
Mm.
them, and I don't want to bring that onto myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just want to make sure. A lot of times I feel readings are best when you're stumbled across them.
Mm.
That's usually my favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
If they're prepared.
Yeah,
If
yeah. If they're,
yeah, they're
I
open
had a
to
gal
receiving it.
who came
Yeah.
into the shop one day, and she had told me she had come the day before, but we were closed. And so she left, and she had lost a boyfriend, I think a year and a half prior.
Mm.
And so she left. And when she got home, she noticed that she lost the keychain that he gave her.
Mm.
And so she went back to all the places that she had been that day looking for it and couldn't find it.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
that next day, she came here to the shop. She found it in the parking lot.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. And she came in and just was like, oh my God, you know? And I was
Yeah.
I was even like, holy crap,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so that was her boyfriend letting her know, come here, come here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah.
They'll lead you the right way.
yeah, always, always,
Yeah.
always, always.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you say that, or that's interesting because I have a kind of a little weird story, but not weird, but anyways. So, I had an uncle that passed away a couple years ago, and he gave my mom a box of jewelry, and she's like, "Oh, just take whatever you want, right?" So I took this ring. Okay, I took this ring. I was like, "Oh, it's really pretty, whatever."
Oh yeah.
And I never take it off. I never take it off. Like I barely even knew my uncle, but he was my uncle. Like I loved him, so I was like, I never take it off. So, um, this one particular day, I was getting ready to go to LA, and so I had gone to work early that day, and I remember seeing the ring. Okay, um, we drive home. I'm getting my stuff ready. I purpose like I looked at my hand. I go to wash my hands. I see the ring, right? And I don't know, among whatever getting preparing my stuff, packing it in the car. I get in the truck and the ring's gone. And I'm like, my ring, where'd it go? And I'm like looking on the concrete, like I go to the restroom and I'm like, are you serious? Like, where's my ring? Like, this is my like I start crying because I'm like, I love this ring. Like, I really lost it. Like, whatever. Like, oh, I'm like really sad. So I'm like, whatever. So I go to LA. I'm texting my niece, hey, is it under the bed? Is it like, can you just check my room one more time? It's not anywhere. Whatever. I lost the ring. So I come back. I think the next day we go to work, and as I'm getting out of the car, I'm just like, whatever. I'm just talking to my sister, and I'm like getting out of the car, and I just see something like shiny under the car. And the crazy thing is, like, I was barely even in that car, but I had the ring on the whole time, right? And I'm like talking to her, and I see something shiny in it, and I just look down, and the ring's underneath the seat. And I get it. I'm like, are you? I'm like freaking out. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I was just so like I was in shock because like, how did the ring get here when I had it on in the house
Right.
the whole
Spirit,
time?
your uncle.
Yeah,
playing
yeah. And I was
games.
like, I even said I was like, okay, fine. Like, what did I say? I was like, he's probably saying like, here's the ring. Like, stop crying.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's always something more like, instead of something like, so like you would see in the movies, like, oh, we're so connected and we're so, ooh, it's
yeah,
more of him here, feel better.
yeah,
Here it
yeah.
is.
Stop crying. Like, because I was like, where's the ring? And then
Right,
yeah, I was like, knowing him, he's like, just stop crying right here. It is.
right. He knew it meant a lot to you, and he helped you find it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that one was one of the most recent, I guess, like a year ago, but almost two. But yeah, that's crazy. That's so
That's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I eat
So
it up.
eat it up.
Yep, I eat it up.
well, we have more stories for you. Get you back on here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
anytime.
so we'll definitely be tagging Sabrina. We'll
Yes.
link all her information for you guys to find
Alright.
her. Like she says, she's a
So right
metaphysical shop,
here.
witchy shop in San Dimas. So we will
Yes.
give you guys her info and then reach out to her if you vibe with her for
Yes.
a mediumship reading. She also does tarot, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ooh,
Yeah.
tarot.
So
Yeah. Awesome. This was fun.
it was so much fun.
Yes.
You're a
Really fun.
natural. Yeah.
Thank you, Spirit.
Yeah,
Yes,
right?
thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
thank
Except for
you.
that one. Except for the
Right.
one that knocked over a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you
I
could tell us
know.
about that one next time.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was really cool though, because I was like, God, I hope something cool happens. Like
That was
really,
really
Yeah.
like
cool. Yeah. That was pretty
Alright.
cool. Well, thank you
Well,
so
thank you so
much. We
much.
appreciate it.
Yes,
thanks,
we
ladies.
do.
And
You're our
we'll
first
see
guest.
you. Yeah. All right.
Yes. We'll see you next
All
time.
right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, what do you
First of all,
think
I
about
want
that?
her back. I want her back on here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she before she got on. Well, first of all, as I got my dates wrong. It was 2022, not 23. I was pregnant that year, but um, the end of no, the end of 2022 is when I had that miscarriage. But it was crazy because I was just like setting up, and I'm like, okay, like I just felt so inclined to like ask for a sign, like if something's meant for me, like let me know, like make it clear, make it gentle, like let me
Mm-hmm.
know it's for me, specifically for me. And right before we got on, she mentioned uh, if either one of us had had a miscarriage, and I was just like waiting for you to say anything, and you were like, "Not me," and I'm like, "Oh wow, that's me." So um, that was a trip, to be honest.
Yeah. Unexpected, but
Very
hoped for,
unexpected.
right? At least some kind of sign or something was,
Yeah. Um, yeah. I do. I always kind of felt it was a girl. So I've always, not that I always, like I mentioned, I kind of just put it in the back of my mind. I think about it, and then I'm just like, okay, I just put it in the back of my mind. But um, what's sticking to me from what she said is to give her a name.
mm-hmm.
So I I'm gonna do that for
Well,
me, for her.
yeah.
She
For
deserves
her,
she
yeah.
deserves it at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day we'll know what that is. But
Yes.
even if, I mean, I don't know if it's important to the, to the being, like she said, or the spirit to be
Yeah.
acknowledged by name, like out loud, or if it's just to be like between you guys.
Yeah.
Either way, it's, whatever feels most comfortable, I guess, for you.
Yeah.
So,
So that was,
so
and then for you, the crow.
I wasn't even going to say that either. Like, at least the part about the crow, I was literally not going to
Yeah,
say that. And I said it. And
it was right there.
it's so weird. Like, the, the ways that they can be so obvious with
Mhm.
with their want to communicate and their ability to communicate. It's crazy. Like most people would just
Yeah.
bypass it, like not even give it a second look or, you know,
Mhm.
pay it no mind, I guess. So
Right.
it's wild that once you do open your eyes and you do pay attention, you can really get a lot from it.
Yeah.
So we are gonna do
Um,
a second part where we were gonna have another medium come on also, but we'll
mhm.
we'll update you guys with that one later.
Yeah.
We will
Let
definitely we enjoy this
let
type
us
of thing.
yeah, let us know if you guys enjoyed that her segment. Like I really did. I'm really interested. Um
Yeah.
am really interested in that. And I just if she doesn't pick anything up from us, like I just want to hear her stories, like,
Mm-hmm.
and just pick her brain,
Right.
you know.
Because there,
Um,
like, there's so much that we don't know, like, about
yeah,
how the fuck it works. Not just how it works, but like, what, why do spirits care after they leave? Like, there is a connection, but I've heard always that, like, your mother could have been your sister in your previous life. I mean, you guys
yeah,
have like a soul tie, but is that really the case? Like, because
right,
obviously they still care. There's still like some connection there, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So a lot of unknown
yeah,
still
unknown.
needs to be answered.
Also, like like reincarnation. Some
Hmm.
people don't believe in that, of course, but like
Right.
past lives.
Yeah.
Have we? Some people are new here. Some people are not. Some people have been on Earth spiritually
Hmm.
for many cycles.
I
You
had
know.
someone tell me that your brother and I have been together for 4 lives, four
Oh wow.
lifetimes before this one.
Maybe we should
I
ask
was like,
Sabrina that next time.
maybe. Or if we have someone else on too, I could ask
That
them
too.
also.
Yes. That too.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what they pick up.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I had someone also tell me I was a medicine woman in a past life. I was like, what?
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, you are into
That's
herbs and shit.
yeah, but not to like not that
Medicinal.
intensely. Like not medicinally, yeah. Not I'm not
Maybe
like
you
an
should.
apothecary.
You should. Maybe you should.
That was crazy though.
Yeah.
The different ways that she can connect and what okay, but not not us talking about shit knocking
Oh
over.
right. Yes.
Like
Oh my gosh. Like literally like
what?
2 minutes after like introducing her.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. Like literally confirmation. Like right. And then you said that she sent you a picture of what they
Oh
dropped.
yeah. Yeah.
We'll insert
I'll
that.
we will
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that
That's
was crazy.
wild. Yeah. And
Are
she's
you,
just like, "Oh
would
yeah."
I know, right? So that would you be open to being like carrying that gift as like intensely as she
Yeah.
does?
I don't know. It's kind of tough to say if you don't already have that. Like seeing something that's really scary. Like I'm a scared cat. Like seeing something, I would lose my shit. I would like I heard that voice and I was traumatized for like 3 months.
Hmm.
I couldn't go to sleep by myself. Like it was bad. So like seeing something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really big responsibility, to have
Yeah.
that type of gift for sure. And like she said, she has to like shut it off completely, like when she goes out in public.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely a really big responsibility, especially how they like portrayed in movies and like you ask, like, oh, do you go up to people and tell them this and this and that? And some people do that, you know. I mean,
They
props to
do.
them if they have enough energy to do that, good for them. Um, I don't
Yeah, but
I
like
don't know. I think it's
how genuine is it or how real is
right,
it? Like some
right.
people are like we talked about earlier, like they just go up to you and they're trying to make a quick buck off of you because you're fucking schmoozy. You're just gonna
Yeah.
believe them.
A schmoozy, a
Yeah, I made
schwoozy,
that up. I made it up.
a schwoozy,
A schmoozy?
a spooshy,
Yeah,
a bimbo. I'm just kidding. Pretty much.
right. That's not what I was gonna say, but that's what came out, so we're gonna stick with it. A schmoozy.
Schmoopy. Just kidding. That's
Sh-
not.
Well,
Would you want to have your abilities that enhanced?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would enjoy being able to help people like
Mm,
close doors or like confirm things that they may not have known or thought they knew but they weren't
mm-hmm.
sure. Just,
Yeah.
feelings, emotions, whatever it is. I think it would
Mm-hmm.
be a healing thing for me to be able to help others also
Mm-hmm.
heal that way.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree that they can be a little stalkerish or, you know,
Yeah.
pry in on your life a little bit. So,
Yeah.
with boundaries, I think I would have to
Yeah.
set boundaries, but yeah, I would be open to it.
I think I'd be open to, now that you're saying that, more on the dream side. If I was able to tune in more into dreams and
Mhm.
like maybe do it in that aspect, um, I wouldn't mind for that because I have very vivid dreams, like I mentioned. But I think I would be able to do something with that. And I also have a
Mhm.
lot of deja vus. I had one, I think, yesterday, and
Yeah.
I was just laying in bed and I was like, whoa, I was just
This
here.
has happened before.
Yeah, this has happened before. And then it went away, and I was like, okay,
Yeah. I have
maybe
those
we'll do
pretty
an
often
episode on
too.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
deja
Yeah, I've
vus.
never I've never understood. I've heard several like ideas of how it works or not how, but like why.
Hmm.
Well, fuck if I know. They could all make sense. Who's gonna say it's wrong or right?
Yeah, because who knows?
Mm, yeah, I don't know. Not me. All I
Not
know
me
is
either.
I'll be
Right,
like, oh, I'm having deja vu, and then it'll last like maybe 5, 10 seconds at the most, and then it's
mm-hmm.
gone.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I usually am like, oh, it's confirmation. I'm like on the right path, or like, oh, I dreamt this before, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, and then it's happening, and then I'm like, okay, it's gone. And then
Yeah.
usually that's how I've been able to like tell the future, because I'm having a deja vu, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna happen right now, and then
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also heard the theory that um, deja vu is your brain making a
Sorry.
memory before it happens.
Oh. Oh,
Before it
okay.
happens or as it happens. So it's like you're aware of the moment and
Mhm.
you're kind of like storing it into your memory bank. But ooh, I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, why does my brain want to remember me laying in bed, not
Or
doing
it's always
anything?
dumb shit. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
be like a Disneyland or some shit. I don't know.
Disneyland. Oh,
You
one
never
one
know.
memory that I won't ever forget. I know you remember. It was that one 4th of July before I moved out here. Do you remember? We were driving back to your house, and then
Oh yeah.
on the
Mhm.
freeway, and I forgot what song was on, but all the fireworks were like
Yep.
everywhere, and it was just like I don't even know. It was just like
Yeah.
I don't
A
even know how to
core
explain
memory
that
now.
feeling. Yeah, core memory. Like
Yeah.
that movie Inside Out, right? When the core
Mhm.
memories are like gold. If it literally felt like that.
Yeah.
It was so cute. I felt so like happy for my little
All the
nephew because they're like all the kids
yeah.
really because
Yeah.
they'll. I hope they remember that.
Like it was I know, me too. It was like I agree that I think about that moment a lot
Hmm.
and I think it was like the Venga Boys or
Yes, Venga Boys.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
that's
was
like
fun.
yeah, it was off topic, not even anything
Right.
metaphysical, but
Right. Yeah.
but yeah.
well,
Well, any last
yeah.
thoughts on
Well, when will we
uh,
have her back?
Sabrina?
No,
We'll
I'm just
see.
kidding. We will.
Yeah, we will.
Um, but
Let us know what you
I
guys
mean,
think.
yeah, I'm curious. We'll leave all her information down below
Description.
or in, the
We'll put it
description.
here somewhere so you guys can see it, but we'll also put her information down below. Um, we're so grateful and appreciative of her coming
Yeah.
on the show, being our first guest.
Kind of picking up a little bit of energy for us to kind of
Yes.
deliver some confirmations and
Yeah.
closure.
And if you didn't believe, do you believe now? Let us know down in the description below.
In the
Description?
description
Comments.
on next week's
You guys,
episode.
it's 11 o'clock. I know.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but
All right.
thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank
I
you.
hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Me too.
I did.
I think they will. I think they did. Sorry. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. Okay, thanks. Bye.